Beautiful intro.
Man, you know, just 2 weeks ago we had Pan. We celebrated International Pan Day.
Yes.
And today we have Pan in the studio again, April.
It never gets old,
No,
really and
it
truly. Pan is
doesn't.
happy people music. You have to be able to get with the times. But if you never know, now you know. It's all about talking about pans in schools. And joining us this morning, we have Akua Leith, who is the graduate at University of West Indies, and Liam Teague, who is a professor of music at the Northern Illinois University. Good morning. You could tell, right?
Wow,
Professionals in the building,
I know,
really and
right?
truly. But good morning,
Welcome,
guys.
Welcome. So let's first start off with how you guys decided to get into Pan.
So for me, I'm originally from Trinidad, and my father had a Cub Scout troop when I was younger, and one of our Cub Scouts brought a steel pan to one of the meetings, and I absolutely fell in love with the sound. And you know, it's been one of the greatest things that's happened in my life. I've been able to move abroad. I'm a professor of music, as you mentioned, and I travel all around the world as a steel pan soloist and an educator.
Wow.
And yourself, Akua?
Well, I started playing at secondary school. Form 1, they had the junior panorama competition.
Yes.
And I signed up for that very first outing. And then, as we say back home, once the steel pan jumpy bite you, you don't ever stop.
Yeah.
And just as Liam, I went on and did my professional studies at UE. I also graduated from NIU under Fulbright scholarship. So definitely I've been traveling, not just as a performer, educator, but also I'm now part of Musical Instruments of Trinidad and Tobago Company Limited, which is a manufacturing company as well.
So who better to talk about the importance of Pan in education than you all? So let's get into that. We have School of Music. We introduce all of these classical instruments into our system. Why should we introduce Pan into schools?
There are two reasons. I think it's one of the easiest instruments to get someone playing.
It's okay, do it.
No, honestly, I could get you playing a song in about 90 seconds. With of course, me coaching on maybe pointing. So we always say Pan is one of the easiest instruments to play, but one of the hardest instruments to master. You know, so you have the whole gamut of a beginner to a professional. Beyond that, there's the social impact. You know, you talk about my life, and I am a testament of that impact, what steel pan could do for communities, and what it could do for individual. So Pan in schools, and then is the voice of the Caribbean. And beyond that, as you said earlier, we were all celebrating World Steel Pan Day. And it's the only family of musical instruments invented in the 20th century. I think that's a big deal. So what better instrument now to join the gamut of what we know as the traditional instruments in schools?
I'm just excited about the fact that he said I could learn to play in 90
I know,
seconds.
Dwayne has a dream.
Because the thing is that I find it so interesting. We've seen, like here in Belize, and I'm sure where you guys are from, it's just exciting when you have these concerts and it's Pan, and you go there. We have Pan Yard here, and when you go there, it's just like energy. It's amazing what you can do with that pan. And so it's like, and not feel some level of joy and excitement. And it's like, I want to be a part of it, but then I don't know how to play it, you know. So it gets frustrating sometimes, you know, but it's like, wow. So I can just imagine. And last week we saw it here at our Summerfest. We had the Institute of Creative Arts. They brought out different instruments, and almost all the kids gravitated to Pan and wanted to play. And so it's just interesting that now you guys are saying, hey, why can't we introduce Pan into the school system?
I'm more interested to understand the technical side of it, because I grew up to play recorder in a school, just
Me
like
too.
Dwayne. You know, they learning to read sheet music and learning to understand the different tones and sounds that go with a particular instrument. So how does teaching Pan come into play with that as well?
Well, specifically where I'm concerned, again, I'm a professor of music at Northern Illinois University. And Northern Illinois University is actually the only university in the world that offers bachelor's and master's degrees in music with a specific emphasis on the steel pan. So I actually left Trinidad to go there to study because the program was already in place when I went there as a student. And then eventually I became a faculty member. Now I'm a fully tenured professor there. And you're saying all these wonderful things about the instrument, and we're not surprised because we truly believe it's one of the most versatile instruments in the world, and it's an instrument that everybody embraces. And part of it again has to do with the fact that folks can learn relatively simple pieces in a matter of minutes. I used to play the violin for about 9 years, and I remember absolutely hating practicing the instrument. With the steel pan and many percussion instruments, you basically need to know where the notes are located. And you can, through a process of imitation, learning by rote.
When you were playing earlier, it sounded like two people were playing. How do you do that?
Sure, but really quickly, the melody that I played is called Pan Night and Day by the great Lord Kitchener, one of the greatest practitioners of the calypso art form. The melody of itself is... Well, what I'm doing, either simultaneously or in between the melody, I'm playing different chords or arpeggios, so I might go...
They're not leaving here today without making me play pan.
That is beautiful.
It is.
And I think the thing about the steel pan is it's so versatile that people can play so many different styles of music and relate to it. And it's an instrument that embraces people of all different walks of life, different demographics, So we're a little biased about the instrument.
So are we. It's okay. So what are the steps now then? What are you here to promote?
How do you establish it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're more specifically here for the International Jazz Festival, Belize International Jazz Festival. This is my second time to Belize. I was here several years ago. Okay. And so I'll be playing several solo pieces. I'll also be playing with St. John's College Steel Band. We'll do a few pieces. Mr. Leith is going to be conducting a number of pieces, classical pieces, even ragtime music. Oh, wow. So we're all about highlighting.
Wait, ragtime pan?
Unpack?
Really?
I'll give you a little taste. Just a little taste. You need to come to the concert.
That's why he's the professor. That's why he's the professor.
In terms of, well, let's talk about, getting it into the school system. Right. How, where are we with that?
For sure, just based on my very first immersion into the Belize culture, there's a lot of passion on the ground. As you said, the Panyard Festival, we did 2 workshops, one on tuning and building, and the other one Professor Teague did on composition and performance. And we are seeing in those spaces, the kids are asking all the right questions, So the next step is to have the trainer program, where you get these persons already passionate, at least to the point of being able to pass on that information that they learned, maybe get a certain level of certification via steel pan performance. Under UE, we have from grade 1 to 8, you talk about reading music. Panists do read music as well. But the other side is the rote learning, where I could get persons who have no interest in music still being able to at least perform alongside a group. So the next step is really to help Belize, through the powers that be, have a roadmap towards getting pan in schools. And it's not just what we want to deliver, but what you all want from it, So with that roadmap, under Musical Instruments of Trinidad and Tobago Company Limited, we definitely do quality instruments. Beyond the instrument, where there's this after-sales support, where all our expertise, as Mr. Teague said there, what we will be able to achieve growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, I think we are able now to pass that on to you guys. So that roadmap, getting the instruments in the school, having persons teaching in the school. So sustainability is critical for the survival of that. How are we now getting persons to do fabrication? Because you need stands, understanding sticks, make their own sticks, purchase instruments and care for the instruments. And then to go into arranging, composing, going into the communities, help. I know you all have a very good, such a strong program called Bita Pananataman, which pandemonium came out of that. That is something we were following quite deeply, and we have similar stories like that back home. So you all already have a very good impact, we can now kind of refine that impact and now take it further
You know,
into the
and,
rural areas.
and that's so interesting because we've had Belizean panists travel the world. They've gone to Taiwan
Correct.
to perform all of these things.
Correct.
And so there's a space there for it. I'm thinking maybe in terms of, like you're saying, train the trainers.
Right.
It's like almost like having those itinerant teachers
Correct.
that go into the school system for Festival of Arts and all of
Correct.
those things and then teach the pan, you know? And so they learn from that
Yeah.
young age, from primary school, learning about pan.
I
Right?
found it very interesting that this was the topic because, like I said, I grew up with pan in primary school.
Right.
But I quickly realized that it wasn't a class. It was, okay, if you want to be a part of the band,
Okay.
you
Right.
can audition.
Yes.
And like the choir, right? So
Right.
you can audition and you can be a part of the band, but it wasn't a class itself.
Correct.
So this is what this would be.
Yeah, I
It would be
think
a class.
early immersion, as Mr.
Uh-huh.
Teague also says, to early immersion as part of the class, I mean part of the curriculum, will help multiply. As you said, performers, Evans, there's who
Yeah.
traveled to Trinidad, he did his degree at
Yeah.
UE. So there are Belizeans who are already professional pianists,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know? How can we now multiply those persons now? Because another thing is we talk about arts and culture. Can we live by it? Can we be paid by it?
Yeah.
You know, so these type of things, you are securing jobs for these musicians who are spending a lot of time nurturing their talents and coming in with all the professional skills. So that is also another good energy that will come out of this initiative called Partner Schools.
I'm not sure if you guys are going to be here for the Carnival Road March, but they always put on a show
Sure, yes.
in the carnival. When I tell you it's a double-decker
Right.
You just
truck,
prefer,
and
you want to bounce with the
you
truck.
want to bounce with the truck because they're playing all
Yep.
the popular soca songs,
Right.
and you know, and it gives you that really great appreciation for
Right.
pan, and I think that is what people associate pan with, not only the music, but you know, the energy that you get
energy.
off of it.
Yes, yes. And when is the carnival?
Carnival is the 9th.
The 9th of September. Okay.
Will you guys still be here?
No, we are leaving us.
Tomorrow,
But tomorrow.
right after Jazz Fest, after Jazz concert, they're leaving. But talk to us more about the jazz concert and tickets. Where is it? Who is playing? What are we doing?
Well, I don't have all of that information. I know the concert is at the Bliss. I
Yes.
believe it starts at 7 p.m.
Okay.
In terms of where to get tickets, unfortunately, I don't have that information.
Right at
Perhaps
the
they'll
box
get them.
office
Yeah,
at
probably
this.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, it's going to be a very versatile concert featuring classical music, calypso music,
Yeah.
jazz, of course, some of my own compositions, you know, that I'll bring to the table. So it'll be very, very
It
eclectic.
starts at 7.
That's my understanding. Yeah. I will be there at
No,
7.
that's the right answer.
Yes.
Maybe it starts at 7.
Because I don't
So,
know,
you know-
Belizean time, it never starts 7 o'clock.
Does Belize-
And I think that's
they're the
across,
same thing
it's
as
across the
Trinidad
board.
time,
It's
yeah.
it is. And never on time. But in terms of, because I know you were talking the full gamut, we start off with, you know what, training these people, then they'll be able to get instruments, then they'll be able to understand, okay, this is how you read notes,
Yes.
all of those things. And so, have you had that conversation with the leaders that
Yes.
want, and they're interested in seeing this happen?
Fortunately, I mean, we've been here since Tuesday. I had a few meetings. The CEO of the Ministry of Education.
Nice.
I spoke to the chairperson of NISH.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to call names because sometimes I mess up names.
That's fine.
But we have Ambassador Lin Young. We talk about Carlos Pareto. So there's a
Yes.
lot of all the, I don't think it's all, but main stakeholders or main persons who have that passion for the instrument definitely had those conversations with us within the last few days. And there is a huge interest. There is a huge interest. So we are hopeful that, you know, things will start unrolling. And I mean, I think they want us coming immediately. As you said, don't leave. But there's a process to these things.
Yeah.
There's a cost to these things, you know,
course
and
there
it
is.
must have a certain timeline. So it can't happen overnight. You have to give it some space to grow. So a 3 to 5 year plan,
Yeah.
unfolding that, I think you'll have tremendous benefits coming out of
Are
such
there
things.
conversations or just I guess a hypothetical dream maybe that it would eventually go into tertiary level education?
Yes, as Mr. Teague said, the only school in the world right now that have steel pan at a master's level is at NIU. So there's already the network from primary school to tertiary level already built out. Maybe more of schools will have the program eventually, but these things are already there. There's already a point by point by point step to get these things moving and have persons being trained up in a professional level.
And now my final question would be, Dwayne, are you ready
Hi.
to go and learn
Hi,
a thing or
hi.
two
Uh,
from the professor himself?
The anxiety.
No, you don't have to have anxiety. Go on.
Anxiety.
Go on.
I don't know. Anxiety. I am. Okay, I could do it.
Yes,
Let's
do
do
this. Yes.
Let's do this. Like I say,
My reputation is on the line.
You're only on live TV in
Okay.
front of like
So we're going to
400,000
do one of the
people.
classics entitled Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Right.
All right. So you're going to play these three notes. It's going to be 1, 2, and 3, starting here.
1,
A little louder.
1, 2, 3.
Then 3 times here. Strike it 3 times.
Right.
3 times. 3 times. 1 time.
1.
3 times. Once. 2 times. 1. And forget measure.
No. It's not even so good, guys.
I think it's because you're playing it, you can't hear it,
I'm
but
not
we can hear the
hearing it
melody.
Because I know they're normally tapping their foot. They're
But
not
don't
like the bass
forget-
playing on their foot.
Remember what Alex said, knock it. Not afraid for knock
But
it.
okay, now there's one thing that we were told. Remember, some pans have different holes, like holes on the pan
Right.
to create certain
Are
sounds.
you referring to the bore
Bore
pan?
pan, yeah.
Bore pan. That's a specific type of this instrument that gives a unique sound. This one I've actually had since I was 15
this
years
is-
old.
this is-
Wow.
So this is an
Yes.
older model. Yeah.
This is a baby, basically.
Very much so. Very much so.
Made and tuned by
Carlo
Carlo
Lane. Yes,
Lane.
he's
Oh.
from Trinidad. Not one of the more well-known steel pan builders, but he did a fabulous job with this. As I said, I've had it for many years.
So there are different pans for different songs that you're
Yeah.
trying
Different
to create.
ranges. So
And
this is
so-
the highest voice in the steel pan family. It's often called the tenor pan, but it's actually in the soprano range, the highest voice. And they go all the way down to
I don't
basses.
sing soprano or anything, but
Uh-huh.
I made to play soprano just now.
What?
90 seconds, guys, 90 seconds.
Do you want to try again?
I
Do your
don't know-
melody
no, I
one
don't
more
know if I
time?
get that was just off the top of my head just now. Did it sound correct?
It was.
Um,
Back over there.
no. Mary had a little.
3 times.
Wait, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, wait.
So, uh-huh.
Okay, I'm trying to sing it in my head.
Multitasking.
Come back here.
Okay, 1, 2,
Come back. 2, 3,
There you
3
go.
here.
now you got it.
1, 2, 3 here.
3 times there. 3
Back up.
times.
Nice.
Once.
Oh, I just get it just now. I heard it. I heard this song. So 1, 2, 3. And a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
Hey! But see, and that is why I was asking about reading sheet music,
Yes.
right? Because so I never played the steel pan, but I used to watch them do it a lot, and they used to label
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
Yes.
what do you call it, the tunes?
On the notes.
On the
Notes.
notes,
Notes,
right?
yes.
So the tune that you did, that would be labeled on the.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, but we're not professors.
Yeah, I could read. I could
You
read.
did well. We
You
heard
did well,
the
yeah,
we
you
heard
did
the
well.
melody.
Yeah, hear me.
Good one.
I think my job is safe though.
But Akuam, Liam, guys, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
in this morning. Do you have any final words for our viewers today?
I think, just continue to celebrate the magnificence of the steel pan. Please attend the concert tonight. It's going to be wonderful. The kids have worked really hard, and we have professional musicians from all over the world. So thanks to all of you for hosting
Yes.
us as well.
Thank you. Well, Belize has been special to us. I think you all are special people. I look forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to
I
that. I-
look forward to when the break come and you start playing again.
Yeah.
But we do got to take that break. And when we come back, it's all about the Queen of the Bay delegates and who will be the next Queen of the Bay for 2023. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah.